It's a beat long Sunday live, talking about your whammy bar and your overdrive. What's up? Just played a show in Birmingham. I'm sitting about, I don't know, probably 600 feet from the Black Sabbath Bridge. I showed it today in a little video. A short, a YouTube short, they call them. God, my eyes are cloudy, sorry. Gotta try to get my contact. Ooh, this is a problem. I have to do a little bit of eye maintenance here before I read any comments. Hold on one sec. Get the old bathroom bag here. It's late. And I'm a little fatigued. But anyways, yeah, we had a really fun gig tonight at the Birmingham Symphony Hall, which is a new venue for us. We haven't played here yet. I don't think it's a very new venue. It's been here for a long time, but it's a new venue for our band anyway. Okay, this is the tour of Losing Things. And the latest thing that I seem to... Oh, no, there it is. Never mind. Contact solution. The art of living out of a suitcase, which apparently I've forgotten how to do. How many of you out there know how to live out of a suitcase effectively? It's a pain in the ass. It's an extra pain in the ass when you've got contact lenses. So I'm so good with contact lenses, I can take out, you can watch me here. I can just take them out. I don't even need a mirror. But I do need to give this one a little refresh job here. Just bear with me. Then we'll get to guitar stuff. Had a clinic today. Guitar clinic. This will be the biggest one of the tour, I think. There was about 45 people. It was awesome. It was really fun. Everybody was really nice. It's great to meet them all. Maybe there's somebody out there watching now. That's right. I can just pop that sucker back in. I know how to do that. Oh my God, that's so much better. It's like a revelation. Who we got here? There's Ryan. There's Ben. What's up, Ben? Randy. We're all friends. You can watch me take my contacts in and out. Tour underwear can be worn twice. Right way, then inside out, says Naive Steve. No, Steve. We don't do that around here. Friends don't let friends do that. I'm overdue for laundry, though. I need to do laundry soon. I'm going to do it in the next city that we're in. So what are you guys talking about? Let's see. My knees hurt there. We got... I mentioned Naive Steve. Acoustic. What's up? Cold and Dark January, says Ebarge. Who else is here? Yes, sir is here. The only reason I can think of to use an effect like... Oh, you guys were talking before I got here. What were you talking about? The only reason I can think of to use an effect like that is to reduce DSP while recording, which is what I think the UA Paula brings natively. That's true. Maybe why it's so popular, but I'm not sure the context. Anyways, we got 176 people online. What's up, all you fruitcakes? Everybody good? So yeah, great clinic today. It was really nice. We've gotten into a little flow with doing them, which is nice. James from Classic Rock Show has been very helpful and is my partner in them and kind of helps guide me through it. Clinic masterclass. Did you get to play Sabbath? We didn't play any Sabbath, actually. I guess that's an abomination. Abomination in these parts. But have you guys seen that interview with Brian May, and he kind of interviews Tony Iommi? It's pretty great. I haven't seen it yet. I watched a little bit of it. It's on YouTube, I think. It's pretty cool. HH says, I hated contact. LASIK was best dollars I ever spent. The problem is I can't get LASIK. I'm not a candidate because my eyes are too bad. So I can't shave away enough cornea to fix my eyes. So I would have to get a lens replacement, kind of like cataract surgery, basically, but with a compensated lens, which you can do so that, you know, basically replace the lens in your eye with a lens that corrects your vision. Pretty cool. What else we got here? Just got back from the gig in Birmingham, says Alex. What did you think? Blew my socks off. Great guitar clinic. Awesome. Glad you made it to both. Excellent. Yes, sir says we were talking about using the inserts on an interface and why. It's not something that I do, but if you've got a favorite effect, then I could see doing it, It's, if you got something that you just feel like it isn't replicated in software, you would just love the sound of something. I always wondered about it too, because it does mean you're going through another stage A to D conversion and stuff, but it's just for the effect. So, if it's an insert in line, then I guess it's not. But if it's like if you're running just on a send, and then returning back and it's just the effect, then I wouldn't worry about the A to D, So, Ebarge says, I would love a clinic about now. Need inspiration in people. Yeah, they're good for that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Holly Lewis says, haven't caught a live in a while. I'm barely alive. I'm so tired right now. Haven't caught a live in a while. Hope you're having fun in the UK. We're totally having fun. Tonight was a blast. What a beautiful venue. Really was just such a great venue. I'll show you a picture of it. I put it up on my Instagram earlier. It was a gorgeous place and it was packed. We filled it out tonight. So really, really good room. It's a great sounding place. Yeah, terrific stage. Corey says with the super chat there, thanks for the super chat. I listened to the new Honeymoon Suite single live. My ears tell me it sounds like you. It's not me, but Derry was kind of like an influence of mine. I love the way he plays guitar. So, you're probably just hearing where I come from a little bit, I guess. He's a terrific guitar player. There was another band called Haywire. Does anybody remember them from Canada? I bet Ben will remember them. God, that guy could rip. They were a great band. Really cool kind of commercial rock band, but boy, they had cool tunes and guitar parts. And Derry and the guy in Haywire, I don't know what his name was, but he was terrific. Real ripping, cool phrasing, and just cool guitar player from the 80s. I wonder what happened to those guys, if they're still around or what. Have you seen the episode of That Pedal Show where the guy from JHS Pedals explains the evolution of fuzz to distortion starting back in the 60s? Haven't seen that. Sounds interesting, though. He's pretty knowledgeable about such things. So, I mean, in my opinion, it's like you basically had, what was it, like the Maestro or what was the first fuzz what was the fuzz on Satisfaction? That really primitive, brutal, hard clipping. It's kind of interesting because we kind of worked backwards. I mean, it wasn't like, the first stuff that was available was pretty brutal as far as the distortion. It wasn't overdrive. It was pretty fuzzy, kind of gnarly fuzzes. And then we went, Color Sound Overdriver was probably the first sort of overdrive, and even it could be pretty fuzzy, I think. There we go. NPR. Haywire, Dance Desire. That was one of their hits. Had that funky guitar part in it. Drop the needle. It was cool. I love that tune, actually. It was really great, kind of 80s AOR. It was fun. Terrific guitar player, too. Ripping solo on that, as I remember. What was that dude's name? I don't even know, but he was really good. Saw them live once in Canada. It was great. Could the SL67 or SL68 Mark II quite possibly be the best modern Marshall ever made? I mean, kind of. It's like John, just great Marshall. It's super reliable, does all the stuff, does what you want it to do. So it's awesome. Yeah, terrific sounding amps. You're not missing anything by not having the old Marshall. I don't think if you get one of those, and it's just killer. Coming to see you at Sheffield City Hall next week. Cool. Do you know this is the venue where both Rush and Van Halen made their UK debuts? That's so cool. You saw them both. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Well, that's exciting. So I'll bring that up. Thanks for letting me know. Please remind me somehow. Sheffield City Hall, Van Halen and Rush made UK debuts. That's amazing. Yeah, because we play a little Van Halen, so I have to bring that up in the set. The Rangemaster treble booster. The Rangemaster wasn't a fuzz or a drive per se, but it kind of, I guess, maybe has. If you run it into a really clean sound, I wonder, like a super clean high headroom, like like into a console. I wonder if it like has any drive on its own. I've never done that to listen. I'm always hitting an amp with it, but it's such a primitive kind of thing, but it's such a wonderful sound, the Rangemaster. They were really like a band-aid for the early AC30s and stuff, to drive them into, because those amps, they sounded kind of woolly, and then give it to Tony Iommi and Rory Gallagher and then Brian May, and they did magic with it, going into a bassy, slightly flubby sound, and it would just tighten it right up and made it perfect. It was so cool. They got it right on the first try. Germanium or silicone treble booster for a warm summer outside gig? That's a great question. I know Crazy Tube Circuits. You should maybe look on their website, see what they are doing. I know they've got a silicone one that was kind of his take on it, to try and do something that was a little more reliable and less temperature sensitive and stuff like that. So take a look at the Crazy Tube Circuits website and see what he's got going for that. Marvin Burt from Haywire. That must be him. Boy, he was a good guitar player. I think they were from like Halifax. I could be wrong about that, but I seem to remember they were from East Coast, Atlantic Canada. Perfect guitarist. I always loved guitarists with great phrasing. He was kind of like almost like a Warren DeMartini kind of phrasing. You know what I mean? Where he could bend and then play a juicy picked run that was, you know what I mean? Like what's the solo on Lay It Down? You know what I'm talking about? It was so melodic, and then when he laid into a muted run, it was like so bitchin' when Warren did that. And that was kind of like the guy from Haywire who would play like that. It was so cool. Well, this is interesting. Haywire and Razor Boy, I don't know those guys, played at pep rallies at my high school. Very instrumental in Mueller and drums. Inspired me. Wow, small world stuff. Harlequin played at my high school. Anybody remember Harlequin? Couldn't believe it. They hired them for like my high school dance. It's like they must have been on hard times or something like that. But they were great. I mean, I remember it was like a concert at a high school dance. It was so strange that they were, like, because I feel like they were, I guess maybe it was 87 or 88. Maybe they were big in 83 or something like that. So now they, maybe we're doing whatever they would, but I was just blown away that they were playing at my high school, because I really liked Harlequin. They had good tunes too. Man, there were some great bands from Canada. Thinking of You, that's another great song. We're getting all deep into the Canadian stuff here while I'm in Birmingham. Let's see. Earl said, asking if I checked out his friend's band. I did. I took a look. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought I took a look, or I think I'm tired. Haywire were Paul McAusland on vocals and Marvin Burt on guitar vocals. Thanks, Todd. Yeah, great band. Okay, what else we got going here? Let's see. Thoughts on the SLO30? I like the 100 more. That's just me, but you want to know my honest opinion? I think the 100 sounds more like that thing. I don't know why, but it just does, That's just my opinion. It sounds more legit to me. Like, what if you want that thing, then you just get that thing. Banana Hammock says, how many guitar changes in the current set? Lots. There's only 7 guitars. I guess that's a lot, but it's not too crazy. I've had more than that out for different gigs, but it seems like I'm changing guitars a lot in this show. It's just the order of the set. The set order is great. Like, the songs flow great, and so I don't mind changing guitars, but I do have to change a lot. Like in the first 4 songs, I change every song. So we're doing a Pat Benatar song in the set, and it's in F, and I didn't want to play it in F. So James lent me a guitar I could play the first 3 songs on the same guitar if I didn't have to change for the second song to a guitar that's tuned up a half step, because I'm just lazy and I don't want to play an F. But I guess I painted myself into a corner of having to change guitars 3 times. So am I that lazy? It's just because I got a solo, and I hate soloing an F, man. I don't like it. I mean, there's like an open string. Like, I think he probably either did it with a capo or he probably tuned the guitar up a half step. The conversation was probably, Pat was like, well, this is the key I want to do it in, because I'm comfortable singing that key. And he was like, all right. And then he either tuned the guitar up a half step or he put a capo on. That's what I think. Because it's just, the solo goes all, the thing about the solo in this song is that it goes all the way from like up 12 frets, you know what I mean? So it's like you're playing all the way up and down the neck. And I hate doing that in F. Just shoot me before making me do that. Anybody else feel that way? B flat and F, not rock keys, sucks. You know, E flat. No, like, unless I'm tuned down a half step, you know, I don't want to do that. Like, I just don't. I don't want to work that hard. I want the open notes, you know. If you can't have the open notes, it sucks. If you're playing a Queen solo, okay, like we do Somebody to Love in the set, and that's basically F, I guess. But that solo is kind of verbatim. I play it like the record, and you just, you know, it goes by, and it's Brian did it that way. It's not, for some reason, it's not hard, but the Heartbreaker solo is a bitch if you had to play it like in F. No, thank you. Yeah. All right. Okay. This week's gear grab, says Steven, 71 Marshall with 10-year-old greenies that was well gigged for $500. Also, it's got like reissue speakers in it, but it's an old cab. That's cool. $500. Yeah. Facebook Marketplace still has the deals. I gotta grab that super chat there from Kleber P. Got a Distortion Plus vintage. Cool. A little Big Muff and a Bad Monkey that works very well together in various combinations. Do you think a Rat 2 would complement these well or be redundant? Maybe a little redundant. Maybe a little redundant. I think something like a Sir Riot would actually be cooler than the Rat 2. Like a Riot Mini, even. I love those. It's a great distortion box. I don't know. I think probably better than the Rat 2, just in my opinion. Which Shure amp would you recommend to get the Dumble 2 Rock sound? I hear Andy loves his SL68. He does, as far as I know, yeah. Dumble 2 Rock. Well, probably the clean channel, the PT100, is the closest thing. Maybe a Bella. Because the Bella is kind of based on, loosely, I think, the Dumble, what he used to call, oh God, I'm forgetting now. What do you call it? The something or other mod that he would do on Fenders. It's like the, oh, I can't think of it because I'm so tired, guys. But anyways, he would do a mod to Fenders sometimes. Starts with an S. The sense phonic something phonic, super phonic or something phonic. Anyway, starts with S. And that's what the Bell is based on, basically. So it's kind of Fendery, but it's got its own thing going on. So I would say either the Bella, and then the PT15 clean channel is based off that. So the difference being a PT100, the clean is basically like a super crossed with the twin kind of, but it's a mid-60s Fender circuit, basically. So, you know, or an old OD100, or, you know, OD100 Classic Plus, or an ML, or one of those amps. They all have that Fendery clean channel, so very similar clean. And that would be the closest thing, you know, to Dumble a 2 Rock. I heard Dumblebot, I heard 2 Rock bot divided by 13. Excuse me. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. 3:40. I'm only gonna go like another 10 or 15 minutes, guys, because I'm just knackered. But it's been a long day from doing the sound check, then masterclass, then 3-hour gig, and then now I'm here. So I'm starting to lose it, I think. But I had to be here. I had to do it because I enjoy it. So you've been sent to guitarist jail. You get a choice of one guitar style, one amp, one pedal, and none of them can be my signatures. Okay, so I would do a probably something from Friedman, like a small box, maybe. You know, I like that amp a lot. His small box is cool. It's basically the plexi channel and then the BE channel. You know, I can do most of what I need with that. Or maybe a BE 50 or 100 deluxe. And then guitar. I don't know. I mean, if I could only have one, I'd be like my old Strat, and then I'd route it and put a humbucker in it because I'm gonna keep it forever and never sell it. But it's such a great guitar, my old 60 Strat, you know. So how about that? And then a single effect type. Well, if I had that amp, I wouldn't really need any overdrive boxes or whatever. So then I need a delay of some sort. So yeah, probably like a Friedman amp of some sort, a delay of some sort, and my Strat, and I'd mod it because I can never have another thing again. So I need it to do different things. So I'd route it like they did in the 80s, screw it all up. So I play Harlequin covers on my Monday show, says Ben. I was looking at your photograph, couldn't help myself, I just had to laugh. I was thinking of you. Good shit. Thinking of You by Harlequin. Killer. Listen to it. Great 80s stuff. You Americans, Europeans, you missed out on some killer stuff. We had the best AOR rock and roll coming from Canada. It wasn't just Loverboy. There was a bunch of other bands that just didn't connect for whatever reason, but they wrote some killer tunes. All right. Great bridge in Thinking of You. Great solo in Thinking of You, actually. Everybody go listen to Harlequin's Thinking of You after this. Killer 80s stuff. You'll be like, this is a great long lost tune from the 80s that you've never heard if you're from Texas or something. Looking to buy my first good tube amp, leaning towards Friedman's small box. Yeah, well, there you go. I just brought it up. What a coincidence. I'm a VH classical rock guy. Yeah, it'd be a terrific choice. 100%. Really good amp. Watching Alex Lifeson interview, he was saying he's just waiting for Getty to message him to do some recording. Oh, that's cool. Those guys should do stuff again. I mean, you know, if they can do it. I saw Alex say that he's not really interested in doing it if he's not up to snuff, like as far as like feeling like how he could always play it, because I think he's got arthritis and stuff. But nonetheless, you know, love those guys. They should do something, you know. It's a shame that Neil's gone, but they seem like such good friends, and you know, they could carry on, I think, and it would be cool. Your Captor XSE demo, I did that this week. How does the reactive low compare to the Sur and the Fryette? Would you feel safe diming a vintage amp into it? Seems like the poor man's best reactive load, a 10 or IR choice. You know, they're pretty much proven. I mean, they've been around for a long time. It's not quite the load box that the Sur is or the Fryette, but it's a good load box. I would probably exercise some caution with diming a great vintage Marshall. It is a U curve. It's not quite. It doesn't quite look like it's like a bathtub curve. That's what John calls them. It doesn't quite look like a real speaker. You know, your mileage may vary. You're probably fine with like anything 50 watts, 75 watts, 100 watt vintage, you know, beautiful 68 plexi or something. I don't know if I would, you know, like just me personally. I mean, probably be all right, but it's like maybe, you know, probably be all right isn't maybe enough. They're terrific though for what they are. We're talking about a high stress device here that, like, is taking all the juice off an amplifier and loading it down to line level and stuff. So you just got to be careful. So, but a good box, they're good. I always say they're good load box. The Sir is going to get you another 15% as far as being the closest load to a speaker. That's my opinion. But, backed up by some empirical data, it's hard to explain, but it's like, I'm too tired to get into impedance curves and stuff right now. But if you look at a true impedance curve, the Sir basically mirrors it. The Freyat's really close to also the one from Fractal. It's very, very good in that regard. Very, very close to a real speaker curve. Two Notes looks a little different. The Aux looks a little different, but they're decent. What high school in Edmonton did I go to? Harry Ainley High School. If you don't think that there was a few jokes about that name, you got another thing coming. Harry Ainley High School. Yeah. It was a big old high school on the south side, still there. It looked like a prison from the outside. There's almost no windows, if any. I mean, I don't know if there was any windows, maybe in some of the offices. And there was like 2,500 kids there. Really looked like a prison. There was no parking. That was it's kind of a shitty school, to be honest. It was like, I should have gone to Old Strathcona High, where my parents went and stuff. And I told my dad that at one point down the road, and he was like, what? It's like, yeah, Dad, I should have gone to your high school. I was hell-bent. I could have gone to either one, Old Strathcona or whatever it was called, Strathcona High School. I could have gone there. Much smaller school, much better academic school. Half the students. Probably would be a smarter guy. Maybe I wouldn't even be here because I'd be a doctor or something now. But my high school was BS, sort of, I think. Sorry, Harry Ainley, but you got a bad rep and a bad name. Maybe it's better now. I don't know. Sorry, I missed a super chat there. I'm going to grab it in just a sec. Can you comment on the amp Satch is having made? I know that Third Power is making an amp or something. The Third Power has been, that's what they're called, right? Third Power amps. They've been doing great amps for a long time. They sound really good. They know Marshalls and they know, good guitar tone and stuff. So I bet it'll be cool. Any amps I've heard from them have been pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see. Bass cabinet, speaker suggestions. Geez, man, I don't know enough about them to be honest. About bass speakers and stuff. I don't know what's good. I'm really not sure. I'm sorry. I don't even want to offer I know Celestion has some, and I'm a Celestion guy. They have some bass specific speakers, but I don't even know what comes in an SVT cab. So, Lou, thanks for the super chat there, my friend. Appreciate that. You say you can rarely watch live, but always watch later. Thanks for sharing so much knowledge. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. 282 people online. Thank you guys so much for being here. Could you tell if you're playing a valve amp or a model or capture if blind tested based on how it feels? Yeah, probably. I mean, there's a certain thing where, in my studio at least, where the live cab always sounds a little like the amp, always sounds a little more lively. The tone can be very close, but then it's like a dynamic thing where it's just like, that's my cab in the other room. I can hear it. So I think probably. 2 rock and divided by 13 sounds like a math problem, not an amp. Divided by 13s were great. It's kind of my first. Okay, that's not true. It's not my first boutique amp. My first would be Top Hat. I got a Top Hat King Royale and then an Implexador. And then after that, I got a divided by 13 FTR 37. And then I owned quite a few divided by 13s. I had a RSA 31, still have those. The FTR and the RSA I still have. I had it was a LDW 37 or Lyle Workman 37, which is basically kind of a JMP Marshall-y thing. I also, the 5100, the Marshall, I still have that, and Sir's had it for like 12 years, and we make jokes about it because he was going to mod it and try and change it. I wasn't ever happy with it, to be honest, and then he was going to work on it, and he's had it at his shop for since, I don't know, like literally 2010 or 11 or 12 or something. And so I'm always like, just keep it. I'd rather hassle you about it because it's funny. You know, don't do it and give it back to me. Actually, I'm just kidding. I wish you would, but I think I'm out of my mind right now. What Synergy module would you recommend for SRV Philips Sace type tone? You know, geez, dude, I don't really know. I mean, that's just such a. I mean, I feel like Philip and SRV is super reverb. You know, something that's close to that. Maybe the Bassman module, or maybe like the BEBB, the the BB side of it, the Buxom Betty side of the BEBB model, from the Friedman one. But it's kind of I feel like you're going to want to use, so you're using VHT straight with P50Es. Great cabinet. Always like those speakers. They sound really good. But that's so not Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Stevie Ray Vaughan thing, man, when I played a 115 vibroverb, slow down, a really legit 64 one or whatever with an old 60 Strat, I was like, oh my God, there's the Stevie Ray Vaughan sound. That was it. And it had, so much of it had to do with the 15 and that Fender amp, and add an old tube screamer or whatever, and if you work the licks a little bit, you're kind of close. It has that thing. So my idea, because the Stevie Ray Vaughan sound changed a little bit over the years, but my idea is like the Elma combo, where he had I think he was running a super and vibroverb, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had the 410 and the 115. That's the thing, and the cabinet is such a big part of that sound. So anyways, you're not going to be able to get that if you go straight 412s. It's a different sound, I don't know. But yeah, I would say the BEBB or the Bassman. Ooh, God, I'm getting tired. It was getting on to midnight, so I better go soon. Today was a full day. You can probably hear it in my voice. How often do your guitars need a fret level? Really rarely, because most of them are stainless steel frets. So, any of the ones with nickel, it's like play it for 7 or 8 years, and it's like, ugh, time to do frets. Boss RV200 reverb, would love your thoughts. If they ask me to do it, I'll do it. They haven't asked me to do that particular one. Did you get out of the Nick Carter gig to do CRS? The thing is that Nick had this tour in South America, booked some dates, and then CRS was coming up too. And it was like I had to make a decision, because the reality is CRS is so many more shows. That's all it was. So I really liked Nick, and I liked playing the gig. And it looks like they're having a great time in South America, following his social media and stuff. It's just packed places and stuff. And I have a little bit of FOMO about it, because it's like, they look like they're really having fun. But the reality is, it was only 12 or 15 shows or something like that. This is like 50 shows. So it was so much more work that I kind of had to go with CRS. Which is classic rock show, what I'm out doing right now. We have 30 shows, and for the first time, we're playing bigger venues over here. 2 nights in some cities like Newcastle, Gateshead. 3 nights in London. It's like this. We played for the first time Birmingham Symphony Hall tonight. It was just beautiful, great venue, bigger venue, better venue than we've ever done here. And then we're also going to Europe and doing a few dates, Denmark and Holland and Netherlands and Finland. So it's just exciting, and then we have a bunch of dates in the US, which I haven't ever done with them. They did a tour in the US in 2016 or something like that, just one, but that was a long time ago. Now they're trying to break back in and do that market again and stuff and build it. So and I the reality is just that I feel like I'm sort of a part of this thing, And I guess part of this is a weird thing to say, but sort of part of the draw, it's like it's an odd situation we find ourselves in because we're playing covers essentially, but we're doing it on a really respectful high level. I feel like with great lights, great sound, bunch of different singers singing, and it's a really really great rock show, and I just feel like it's something that I don't want to miss out on, and I feel like I'm part of the, like I say, part of the draw, more part of the band. We're a band. There's no rock star lead singer in the band. We are the band, and then we're playing these songs, and you get a lot of people coming back every year, same people coming back to see the show and stuff, building new fans and stuff like that. And if you switch one of us out, it's kind of a, people are like, oh, where's so and so, be it me or anybody else in the band. Whereas Nick's band, it's more of a side band gig. They're really there to see them, to see him. I don't want to say, folks appreciate the band and they want the band to be good and all that, but they could kind of care less if it's me or another guy, Does that make sense? So I think, so I just realized like 50 gigs versus like 12, or maybe, even if they announce some more, it's like, it's so many more gigs and stuff like that. And it's just like, I like this thing, we have fun out here. So it's a band of friends. We have a good time. And I just had to make a decision. And so that's why I'm out here doing this. Yeah. Chris says, just picked up a mid-60s Bassman. Tell us about yours. Mine's great. I haven't used it in a long time, but it was modded by Roy Blankenship. So the channel 1 has kind of like that lifted EQ hotter sound as an option that you can do. You know about that? Like you can kind of make it kind of martially almost, like by lifting the EQ on channel 1. And it's kind of a standard Blackface Fender mod thing that people do sometimes. So Roy did that to it. Great amp. Has a couple of JJ6L6s in it right now, and I just haven't used it for a long time, but it's cool. They're really cool amps. Kind of deals too. Like they're good deals as far as vintage amps go. They're not too expensive. What do you think about 21 amps compared to their 100-watt counterparts for recording live? I mean, there's some great ones out there now. But PT15 is great. That Jake Lee 20 is killer. They sound really big, and for a lot of people, they're just practical and the right size, I think. So, yeah. Thank you and good night, says Souvenirs. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I'm just going to grab. Oh, there's a super chat I got to grab there. Did you listen to my old band, April 6th? Don't mean to bug you. In Memory was our album produced by Howard Benson. Sorry, can you send it to me again? I haven't listened to that one yet. Sorry, I missed out on, I miss things and emails and stuff sometimes. So, but I'll take a listen to it. Sure. Have you heard of modern band, The Defiance? It's a must listen. Guitarist is Rob Marcello, Keys brother. Oh, cool. 80s music. So it's a new band, huh? Kind of doing stuff in that style. I'll check that out too. Queen City Kids was another prairie rock Canadian rock band. Yeah, Queen City Kids were killer. Canadian bands that folks may not have heard of. Street Heart, Queen City Kids, Toronto, the Headpins, Harlequin, a lot of H bands. Headpins, Harlequin, Haywire. Why did all the bands start with H? But really, really cool bands. What humbuckers would I put in a Rev Star to turn it into a hard rock monster? Hard rock monster. If you were going to go Sir, I'd go SSH plus and a SSV in the neck. If you're going to go Duncan, go JB and a 59. That good old combo, Yep. Danny Carey said he's going to play with Alex soon, but that ain't Rush. That's cool. It'd be great to play with those guys. Yeah. Well, I think I'm starting to lose my mind. So I should probably go. My eyes are getting really tired, and it's been a really long day. But love seeing the show from the start. Thanks. Pizza sessions with Jeff. God. When you use your IC cab for the VH deep dive, do you have a cab in the room? No, I didn't have a speaker cab in my room. I had the cab mic'd out in the other room. It was isolated. Yeah. Anybody else? Any comments? Anything to get? Well, where are you at? Symphony Hall. Yeah, Birmingham Symphony Hall, right by the Black Sabbath Bridge. There's another super chat. What's your preferred speaker to pair with the Sir Hedgehog? John likes 65s for that. You know, the big dust cap, the old G12 65, which is pretty cool, I think, you know, with a Hedgehog. That style amp, that kind of, you know, that seems to be the Robin Ford, Dumbly kind of. I have a cabinet with them. It sounds great. I have a Hedgehog in that cabinet. It seems to work good. So let's say go that way. Oh yeah, April Wine, of course, Canadian band that didn't get their due. I think they did kind of more than a lot of the bands that we've been talking about, though. Like they were certainly bigger than Queen City Kids or Toronto or Harlequin or the Headpins or Haywire, all the H bands. April Wine, but I mean, I have memories of listening to April Wine, you know, when I started going out to clubs and stuff like that when I was a kid. What was that song called? Come on, I'll be yours as the sun comes. Ding 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 ding. Come on, Ben Coombs. What am I talking about? With the ride cymbal, the bell, you know, that song. At least that's my memory of it. I haven't heard it in 30 years. But they had a great ballad called Just Between You and Me. That was a killer April Wine song. But also Roller, right? She's a roller, I roll, baby. She is. That was a great song, killer song. Everybody go listen to Roller by April Wine and Thinking of You by Harlequin, and tell me those aren't great tunes. And then for some just super sugary AOR, Dance Desire by Haywire. Great solo, dude. If you did the solo and you ever watched this, great solo. Oh my God, so killer. All right. Yeah, I got to go. I'm going to go I'm riding on the bus tonight, going to the next town. We got a day off tomorrow, but tonight I get in my bunk and that's where I'm headed. All right, you guys, love you all. I don't know where I'll be. Let's take a look before I go. Next Sunday, maybe I've got a day. I seem to remember I have a day off or something, which would be great because I could do this at the normal time then. Next Sunday will be Tuesday. Let's see, Shrewsbury. Wait a minute here. That's not right. Thursday, Wednesday, Malvern. Birmingham, Basingstoke day off. Basingstoke, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, I'll be Sheffield City Hall. That'll be where Van Halen did their first. So it'll be similar. I'll be here late, all knackered, and just a mess. So look forward to that. I will. See you backstage at the Sheffield City Hall where Van Halen evidently and Rush had their UK debuts. Maybe I'll walk through the venue and show you guys or whatever. Yeah, that'd be interesting, right? Legendary venue. Okay, thanks so much. And I'm going to go get some rest. See y'all. Have a terrific week. Be nice to one another. Take care.